So like, yeah, this phone, man, be closing out on me whenever it feels like. So anyway, when you get that emergency text, your FEMA text on your phone, they just tested it out on October 4th. When you get that text that says Russia has just shot a nuclear missile to your city, you know, what are you gonna do? Well, guess what? The elect, yeah, it's gonna be a scary moment, but the elect is gonna actually put that faith. And it says in the last moment we get saved. Scarcely. So we're going to get saved right before that missile drops, seconds before that missile hits. Let me grab that real quick. Yeah, that'll work. I don't think this is the one I was looking for, but this one works. 1 Peter 4:18. It says in the bottom second to last verse on your screen, it says, "And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?" You see? And when you go into that word scarcely, it tells you, let's go into it real quick. Scarcely, it means hardly, barely, almost not. You see that? It's just in the nick of time, man. Let me see here. So barely, you're barely gonna get saved. You're barely gonna make it. Meaning that's what it means. The elect is gonna. We're talking about the elect here. The elect is barely gonna make it. So how much more the ungodly and the sinner? The ungodly are all the other nations because they don't have a God. The sinner are the 2/3 because they have a God, but they refuse to repent. See? But the elect, even the elect, barely going to be saved, in the nick of time. All right? So that's why, man, we're in these days, man, everything's manifested, right? They have the missiles that the scriptures spoke about. They have the mark of the beast, which is the RFID C-hip. That's manifested. They have both the forehead and hand chip. So these things are already manifested. How are you going to say we're not in the last times, in the last days? Someone without faith, someone who doesn't believe in knowledge, someone who's going to be reserved unto death and destruction is the person who says we're not in the last days. Psalm 62. But that's okay. That's the spirit they're supposed to be in because that's the spirit that the Most High created them in. The Most High Yahawah. Verse 7 in Psalm 62. In the Most High is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in the Most High. All right? Yes, our refuge is the Most High. That's the only thing that matters in these days. When the destruction comes, what else is going to save you, man? You got to know the name of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai and call on it. When you get that FEMA text talking about Russia just sent a nuclear missile to Denver. Russia just sent a nuclear missile to New York. Russia sent a nuclear missile to Dallas. You see? Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahawah is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So you better be calling on the name of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai when those missiles are about to drop. If you're calling on Jesus and God, that missile is going to fall right on your head. You're going to burn. And that's going to be that lake of fire that Christians like to call hell. Okay? Because they lack understanding. All right, verse 8. Verse 9. Surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. Right. The men of low degree, meaning you don't know nothing. You don't have a degree of knowledge in anything. You're useless. If you don't have a degree of knowledge in this truth, you're useless. Then you got the men with so-called, bachelor's degrees and PhDs and all these higher degrees, which remember, a degree if somebody says they have a degree in college, a degree is a portion. When you look up that word degree, it just means a portion. So they're just telling you they have a portion of knowledge according to whatever they studied. You know? Like I have a degree in law. Oh, okay. So that means you have a little bit of law that you've studied. That just a portion. That's what the word degree means. So let's read it. Let's get it. So when someone's trying to brag about a degree, or a degree, you just tell them, hey, you only know a portion of whatever the fuck you studied. Don't be bragging on that. You better know it all. When it comes to this knowledge and this truth, we have the 100% truth. We have 100% according to the knowledge. Yes, we learn every day. There are deep parables, deep dark sayings that we understand, but we don't walk around saying we have a degree in this truth. Yahawah didn't say, "Oh, I have a degree in religion." No, the elect, we obtain the whole truth. It tells you that in Romans 11:7, I think. I'll grab it, but let me just get. See, degree, it means a measure, a proportion, an amount, a level. You're on a certain level. It doesn't mean that you have all the knowledge. You're at a certain stage of that, whatever you're studying. You see? So if they say they have a degree, bragging about it, you could tell them, hey, you just know a little bit about what you studied. You know? You have a degree in medicine. Oh, so you know a little bit about medicine. Because if they're like I'll use King Solomon because it said he understood everything, right? Then they wouldn't say a degree. They would say, hey, I've mastered this, and I'm, even if they have a master's, they still only have a degree at a higher level, right? So you get the point. But in this knowledge, in this truth, oh shoot, that's Satan. Look, it's not letting me change. Let me close this thing real quick. This thing is acting up right now. Watch this. Let's see. Let's see if this will work. All right, there we go. All right, back to it. So Psalm 62, or I was going to grab Romans to show you that the elect obtains the whole truth. Not all of Israel, but the elect will obtain the whole truth. So let's get that in Romans. It says, what then Israel hath not obtained, that which he seeketh for? Because all of the Israelites, they have a desire for the truth, but just not according to knowledge. It says, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Right, the elect obtains this knowledge and this truth. More specifically, the prophets. All right? So the prophets obtain 100% truth. That ain't no degree. It's 100% truth. If the Spirit's on you, if Yahawah, Bahashim Yahushua put the Spirit on you, you're going to have the Spirit to be able to break down every single parable in the Scriptures. All right? Sometimes it takes a little while. You gotta read it and think about it, pray on it. But guess what? That if you're of the elect, that understanding is going to come to you. All right, where are we at? Verse 8. No, Salakia, verse 10. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. So we don't put our hope and our trust in oppression. We don't put our hope and our trust in Babylon, America. We're not sitting here trying to build an empire or trying to, we're not trying to because a lot of us in this truth, we used to be entrepreneurs. Then when we got the truth, we realized, what's the point? And now I'm not saying, don't worry about making money. Don't worry about feeding your family. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, don't sit here and have a vision that you're going to have build up this company, and it's going to last 30, 40, 50 years, and you're going to pass it on to your generations after you. because that ain't what it is. We're in the last days. We're getting close to the third woe, which means the third war, right? Which will be fought with nuclear fire. We're not living in a time to sit here and be an entrepreneur and try to, build an empire in Babylon in your captivity. See? Now, does that mean just give up on everything and give up on taking care of yourself, give up on taking care of your family? No. You still obviously need money. You're in fucking slavery. You're in captivity. You need money. You got to pay the oppressor. You got to grind and do what you got to do. But all we're saying and all I'm saying is don't put your trust in that stuff. All right? Because when we read it here, if your riches increase, set not your heart upon them and set not your mind upon. Why? Because guess what? Let me give you this scenario. You start a trucking company. You start out with one truck, then you get two, then you get three, then you get four. You got different employees working for you. You start making really good money. And then a year and a half later, Esau Edoms comes up and says, hey, all right, it's time for everybody to be mandated for that micro C-HIP. Now what you going to do? That's why Yahawah is saying, don't put your heart up, don't set your mind upon these riches. Don't set your heart upon these riches. Why? Because King David, 2,000 years ago, 25, maybe 3,000 years ago, he was warning, saying, hey, don't set your heart upon this stuff. Because why? They knew the prophecies. King David was a prophet. They knew the prophecies. They knew to warn our people, like, hey, don't set your heart upon this thing, because there's eventually going to come a time when you're going to have to take that micro C-HIP, and without it, you're not going to be able to function as a CEO of your trucking company. And if you go all in on that and you forget about this truth, then guess what? You're just destined for destruction. Keep your trucks, but you're going to get burnt in nuclear fire. You sacrifice that, and guess what? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to deliver you if you're of the elect. See? So that's just something that once you're in that position, how much harder is it going to be if they say, all right, now you got to take a micro C-HIP, otherwise you can't run your company, otherwise you can't make all the money you've been making. So if you have discipline, then you can do that, but most people don't have that kind of discipline to where they can build up a business that flourishes and then walk away from it, to sacrifice it during the time of oppression in the micro C-HIP. You're going to be more tempted, more likely to take that C-HIP because of your little empire you built, your little temporary empire you built in Babylon. You see? So what's verse 11 say? The Most High hath spoken once, twice I have heard this, that the power belongeth unto the Most High. Also unto thee, O Yahawah, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. Okay? So that's what it is. And the work, it's not talking about your big trucking company you came up with. It's talking about the work of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. He's going to give us everything according to our work. I mean, provide. That's what render means, to provide or contribute or make available. And one of the most important things he's going to make available to us are those chariots, the way I started this lesson out. We're going to be going up in a so-called UFO during a time of nuclear war. And guess what? The men of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai, you're not going to have your mind set on your riches. You're not going to trust in oppression, you see, because you know better. We're building up our spirits, and the people that listen and follow and understand us and receive this truth. Those are the spirits we're building up in this knowledge and this truth. All right. And those are the ones who are going to be the hopeful elect. Those are the ones who are going to go up in what you call a UFO. Those are the ones who are going to, they're not going to trust in riches. They're not going to trust in the oppressor. They're going to trust in Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. Okay? So with that, I'm going to give all the praise, all the glory unto Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai B'Shem Rekakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.